Am I the a-hole for insulting my dad by asking when are you going to be a father and take care of your kid? I'm new here and on mobile, so I don't know how this all works, but this is something that's been eating me up for some time now. One day, 11 months ago, I, 27F, introvert, had been put in charge of babysitting my little sister, 6 at the time, adopted since 3, Maple, fake name, after mom had to go out of state for a family emergency. During that time, I was at my lowest wit, stressed, frustrated, tired, and wanting to be left alone. I don't like kids, never wanted to be a parent, don't know how to handle them, and the responsibility is just too huge. But time and time again, I've been one to keep an eye on Maple, starting from before she was school age. My older brother and my dad go to work. I am unemployed, so I get it, it's the least I could do. I cook and clean and babysit and dog-sit my brother's husky and mom's chihuahua. I didn't have a choice in any of this when it first began. I was promised payment at least. Mom kept her word and followed through when she worked at the time. Big brother paid me the first few weeks of husky sitting, then he kinda stopped. But that's for another story. Once Maple started school, it was a little bit easier. Mom was still working at that time. She got kiddo ready for school and was back home to pick her up from the bus stop. Mom then left work to be a som. A few years passed, Grandma's health began to decline, and Mom had to travel to see her immediately, leaving me in charge. Schedule was as follows. Wake up, get kiddo ready for school, use the 8 hours of silence to get a bit more sleep, cook and clean, pick up Maple from the bus stop, send her to shower, give her dinner, wait for nighttime, call Mom for her nightly prayer, and go to sleep. Now, notice how instead of being released from babysitting duty after a parent came home from work, I had to do everything. Where's Dad in all this? Or even my brother? Neither of them gave me a hand when they came home from work. They used to arrive at the same time, but then brother came home earlier than Dad. All he did was head straight to his room after bringing the husky inside and getting himself food. Door? Locked. Dad arrived after kiddo was put to bed. He gets 3 days off every week. Where was he? Outside doing freelance mechanic work or staying in his room watching TV. I was all on my own with cooking, keeping the place clean, and watching over a kid that isn't mine. It was a constant cycle of leaving the dishes clean, only to turn around and see dirty dishes in the sink again. A kid wanting attention and constantly coming over to me when all I wanted was to be alone after all her needs were met. It was starting to wear me down as time went on. I was stressed, feeling trapped. I am unemployed, but I want to go back to work, and I felt trapped because there's a kid here that needs someone around. I couldn't leave the house for anything. Then one day, while I was brushing Maple's hair in our parents' room, because that's where the brush is, Dad was sitting on the bed, watching TV. It's a day off for him. He's at home all day. I felt a twinge of anger, but I was more frustrated and tired than anything. I opened my mouth and said, "When are you going to be a father and take care of Maple? I'm not the parent here. She's not my responsibility." I just said that calmly, like a normal question. Deep down, I was pleading for help. He looked at me and gave me a look and told me, "You're helping. You're her sister." I responded, "Yes, but nobody is helping me. I'm not the parent," I said again. And then he went back to looking at the TV. Quiet. He's been giving me the silent treatment ever since. I then found out that he's pissed at me when I called Mom the next day because I was upset at the sudden silent treatment. She told me not to even look at him, to keep my mouth shut. She told me that I insulted him, and that's why he's like that. He's angry at me. He got so angry that he wanted me out of the house. He wanted to kick me out for that. But he can't, because then who's going to watch Maple? Mom defended me, but also hasn't done much to get him out of this behavior towards me. My brother even told me to apologize. For what? All I asked was a question. All I wanted was some help. After that, I began to grow more resentment towards my dad. Mind you, we butted heads in the past, and before all this I honestly thought we were mending and getting along. Then it all went to the trash just because of something I said. He doesn't even do shit around the house. When he's at home, he's supposed to watch his own little kid. But all he does is stay in his room, leave the house without saying anything, and be mean and yell at Maple when she wants attention, which in turn makes Maple come to me because I'm nicer and Dad is scary. I ended up returning the silent treatment back. Two can play at this game. It's been 11 months now. There have been some changes with Mom returning but leaving again after Grandma's passing. Dad does the bare minimum when he's home on a day off, which is keep her off my back for the day so I can have time to rest and be left alone. It worked for a few days before it reverted back to Maple coming to me a lot for attention, causing me stress. So far, he hasn't done anything to make me change my mind about the insult I apparently threw at him because he hasn't done anything that a father should actually do. But am I the a-hole here? Should I suck it up and apologize?